With every update that gets pushed to any game, there's always parts that makes you wonder why things were done in a certain way, especially when you can make a few small changes without adding anything new and it would be 10 times better. The Blood Money update is no different to this. We've all seen players make some ridiculous suggestions already, but there's also been some very simple and valid requests. If these changes were made, it wouldn't take much time, but it would make things a lot better. Before I do get into the video, if you enjoy the content here and want to see a bit more from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. We are uploading Red Dead videos every single week, giving you the latest tips and tutorials and the latest news. So if you do want to stay up to date, then make sure you are following the channel. Getting back into the video, the changes that I'll be talking about in this video are changes within the scope of this update. I will not include ridiculous ideas of free roam heists, because even though it is highly requested content and it would be cool, it's also impossible to do with the amount of design issues that would come with it. And even if Rockstar was to get around those design issues, it would lead to very boring content. So everything that is included as part of this video is already part of the Blood Money update. It is just done in a different way. These are small changes that are within the scope of what Rockstar can do. So the first thing to talk about is the outfits that are bought with gold. I highly recommend, if anyone is looking at these outfits, do not do it. These outfits were already part of the game before. They already was part of outlaw passes, which technically if you went through them and you managed to go and get these different outfits, you managed to get them for free. Because even though these outlaw passes cost anywhere between 35 all the way up to 50 gold bars, you was able to get most of that gold back. So you managed to go and get your investment back, and on top of that you managed to go and get all of these other rewards such as different XP, different money and different gold bonuses. Plus you was also able to go and get all the different parcels, all the different items of clothing, which does include these different outfits. Now, if these were completely new items that no one was able to get before, items that weren't re-released, and these items were desirable, having a price tag of 52 gold bars would be worth it. It makes sense from a business standpoint, and it makes sense for those to buy into it because of bragging rights. This is the exact same business model that a lot of successful games have managed to build up, but because this is re-released content, you haven't got those bragging rights, making it completely pointless for any new players to buy into it at this extortionate price range. These items should have only been added to the game for cash, as technically it would be free. Just like technically for those that bought into the outlaw passes, it was for free. The next change, which would have made things a lot better, is getting Capitale after every mission. Right now, the only way that you can get Capitale is based on a chance. You have to go through these Blood Money missions and you must loot bodies or loot different lockboxes. And even then, you only have a chance of getting Capitale. It's not actually guaranteed. And I get why Rockstar have done this. This is called the Nerd Isles hooked model, and it is used within game design all the time. It's easily explained with this diagram. You have trigger, action, your variable reward, and investment. The trigger is you entering the mission. This is what starts this process, and you must do this if you want Capitale. The action is you looting every single body or trying to find the different lockboxes so you can loot them. The variable reward is the chance of you getting Capitale. It's not guaranteed. Sometimes you can get 1 Capitale, sometimes you can get 3, sometimes you get nothing, and sometimes you can get other miscellaneous items such as jewelry. And the reason that you want to do this brings us over to the investment. And this is because you need Capitale for you to go into bigger and better missions, which are the opportunities. And because of that need, this is what sets everything in motion. As long as you want to complete opportunities, you're going to carry on going through these Blood Money missions just so you can get a variable reward, and it's just a rinse and repeat cycle. The only problem with this is that progression is extremely slow, and it's especially the case with Red Dead Online and this Blood Money update, because each mission can take anywhere between 5 all the way up to 15 minutes, and you will need anywhere between 15 all the way up to 25 Capitale for you to enter one of these opportunity missions. And if players do not think that they're progressing fast enough, it then leads to them being frustrated, coming even to getting bored, and then they'll just stop playing, which has happened many times in this situation. So it makes sense to make things a bit easier to give at least 1 Capitale for every mission. That way you'll be guaranteed Capitale no matter what you do, but you still have a chance of looting bodies and looting lockboxes to get a chance of getting Capitale. This also goes on to the next point. There needs to be another reason for you to use Capitale. As of right now, the only purpose is for you to go through opportunities. And even though I like these missions and I like being able to pick my own path, and it is very fun when going on this on ruthless difficulty, it's still going to get repetitive at some point. And as soon as I get bored of going through these opportunities, which will not take too long, it's also the second that I stop going through blood money content to get Capitale. This is where a very good suggestion comes in, that there needs to be something such as a shop where you can buy exclusive items and they're only needing Capitale for you to buy into them. It doesn't require you to have gold and it doesn't require you to have money. The good thing with this is that these items that can be exclusively bought with Capitale doesn't necessarily need to be a whole new shop built around a completely new character. These items could very easily be added to Madame Lazar's shop, very much in a way that some content has. If you go through any of these opportunity missions on ruthless difficulty and you successfully complete it, you'll unlock the ability to buy into exclusive items of clothing. But now that there is already that connection there, it really wouldn't be too difficult for Madame Lazar to have exclusive items of clothing, maybe even just different variations of items of clothing that is already within the game, but it can only be bought with Capitale. From a business standpoint as well, it also makes sense that if you really want an item, you can head over to the fence, buy Capitale with 3 gold bars, and then use that to buy the items at Madame Lazar's shop. With this, it then brings a very small change, but it would need to happen. And this is being able to hold more than 50 Capitale within your satchel. Right now, this is the maximum that you can hold, and it makes sense because the only thing that you can use with this currency is opportunities itself. But if we was to have something such as a shop, which as already mentioned is very easy for Rockstar to implement, you would need to have more capacity so that you can buy more exclusive and different types of items. And this is a very simple change. It's just about changing the integer, which is back in the maximum capacity for Capitale. As soon as you change this number, there you go, it's done. But it is only worth it if there was more reason for you to get Capitale, and it does make sense that Rockstar implements something, because opportunities isn't enough. The next change, which definitely would go down well, is a higher payout. Now, if people didn't know, the sole purpose of this latest update was to fill the gap in between when you first complete main missions at the beginning and when you go and buy into your first role. After completing the main missions for the first time, you have about 10 gold bars, and the cheapest role is about 15 gold bars. This is by far the worst part of Red Dead Online. It's the hardest 5 gold bars that you'll ever earn, because your daily challenge streak is at 0, so if you completed any daily challenges, you'll only get 10 gold nuggets per challenge. You also only have general challenges to complete right at the beginning, so you're limited with the content. You'll start going through different types of stranger missions and awards, but as you are a new player, you don't look for beginner guides. You don't know what awards to work on, and you also don't understand that the longer it takes to finish missions, the bigger the reward you'll get at the end. So this can be a very slow and repetitive process. But now the blood money content actually bridges the gap. So the reason that these blood money crimes don't have an insanely high payout is because it's content that can be accessed really early on in the game. And if players can just start the game and do this content and then be rich forever, it then just becomes pointless. But the opportunities themselves can have a higher payout because they can't be farmed. It requires a certain amount of Capitale for you to enter, and as already discussed, it's very difficult for you to get that Capitale as things currently stand, and even if you was able to farm through it, there's still a cooldown between each mission. So it makes sense for these missions to have a much higher payout. There could very easily be a set fee for you to go onto all 3 difficulties, with it gradually getting higher and higher as you increase in difficulty, and the payouts themselves could be a lot higher than what they currently are, being anywhere between 1 gold bar and $400 for completing this on Ruthless. As soon as it's finished, it's still not a problem, you can't farm this. And for the worry of new players going through this and completing it on Ruthless, if they manage to start a new account where they have limited character health, they do not have access to all the different provisions and all the different consumables, and they have limited weapons on what they can use, and they manage to go through this on Ruthless, well, that's a job well done. They deserve that money and they deserve that gold for going through it. There's no reason why this content shouldn't have a higher payout. Now, last thing to talk about for this video is to unlock items based on completing Ruthless. Now, we have already briefly talked about this in this video. After completing the opportunities, as soon as you finish that on Ruthless, you can actually unlock unique items at Madame Nazar's shop, but the issue is that you unlock the ability to buy them. You will need to go over to Madame Nazar's shop and spend $200 to buy something which you just earned. This content should be an award immediately added to your wardrobe as soon as you complete the mission on Ruthless, rather than it being the case of you having to go over to the shop and buy it for yourself after you actually completing something, which does take a bit of skill. It could be very easily laid out where you go for this mission, complete it on Ruthless difficulty, and you only unlock one hat with one single variation. If you want to go through and get the hats in other types of styles and different variations, then you'll have to go through these missions again, and it actually brings some sort of replayability and some goal. Now, yes, it is only just a hat at the end of the day, but there will be players such as completionists. There are loads of completionists within Red Dead where they want to get 100% in RDR2 story. They want to move on to Red Dead Online. They want to max out their character, get the highest rank, get the most money, get the most gold, complete missions, get all gold medals under the story missions. There's people out there like that. It's a specific type of playstyle. Those types of players will of course want to go through this content, finish it on Ruthless difficulty, unlock that variation of hat, then go through it again until they carry on doing it, and they get every single variation. And this would work so much better than the current system that we have in place where you just unlock the ability to buy into it, because that has put off a load of different players. But anyway guys, those are 6 small changes that could be implemented into the Blood Money update, which would make it 10 times better. If you got any other suggestions, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.